Hello, and welcome to today's class. Continuation of matrices. We are going to look at addition and subtraction of matrices. Now, in before before we look at an example, I want to give an important note, and I want to say that we can only add and subtract matrices if and only if they are compatible. All right. So the keyword here is compatibility. All right. So a matrix, when we are adding and subtracting, are said to be compatible if they have same order. All right, if they have same order. Remember yesterday we looked at order of matrices. All right, so where we were describing the order of matrices using the number of rows and columns. So only matrices with the same order can be added or subtracted. So by this I mean if matrix A has the order 2 by 2, all right, then it can only be added or subtracted by matrix B, which also have the same order of 2 by 2, that is 2 rows and two columns. So basically the order has to be the same for these two matrices at any given time to be compatible. So we are going to handle a simple example here and see how we can add and subtract matrices. So for the first example, all right, so we are given a matrix A, all right, and the matrix A is defined by the following elements. It has negative 3, 2, 4, and 0. All right, and we've also been given a matrix B, which is defined by the following elements: 4, negative 3, negative 2, and negative 1. Okay, so the first question from this is we should multiply, we should add matrix A and matrix B. We should add matrix A and matrix B. So before we add or subtract, remember what we said, that we want to check on the orders. So when you look at matrix A, it's of order 2 by 2, two rows, 2 columns. Same to matrix B, 2 rows, 2 columns. So there's compatibility of these two matrices. That means that we can go ahead and add them. All right. So if we were to add them, though, one thing I want to note is we are going to also add elements that are in the same row and column. All right. When you are describing positions of elements, we can only add and subtract elements in the same position. All right, elements in the same position within the matrix. So for example, for A, which we are having negative 3, 4, 2, 0, if we were to add it to B, which we are having 4, negative 3, negative 2, and negative 1, then it would mean that we will add elements in corresponding positions. So A11, all right, so 3 will be added by 4. Okay, 3 can only be added by 4. We cannot add it to any other element when we are adding these two matrices. So in this particular case, we are going to have negative 3, okay, plus 4. So negative 3 plus 4, and that will give us 1. Okay, negative 3 plus 4, and that will give us 1. All right, for the second element in that row, we are having 2. All right, so it will be 2 plus negative 3. 2 plus negative 3, and that will leave us with negative 1. Okay, so we are done with the first row. Second row, we are having 4 plus negative 2. 4 plus negative 2, and that will give us 2. All right, then we are having 0 plus negative 1, and that will give us, of course, negative 1. So the result of adding matrix A and B is this matrix you're seeing here, which is of the same order as the other matrices initially, 2 by 2. Okay, so you note this is matrix of order 2 by 2. This is also a matrix of order 2 by 2, and that is why they are compatible. That means we can add them because of the same order. All right, and so note that the resulting matrix is also order 2 by 2, and so that is how we would add those two matrices. Let us look at a situation where we have to subtract them. All right. So a continuation. So we are having our matrices A and B. All right, the same matrices that we are dealing with in the first example. All right, order still the same 2 by 2, and so we are supposed to subtract matrix A and matrix B here. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. All right, so let us first of all have it written out as -3, 4, 2, 0. That is for matrix A, minus B, which is 4, -2, -3, -1. Okay, all right. Then if we are going to subtract it, because they are compatible already, we are going to subtract elements in the same positions. Only elements in the same position, corresponding positions, will be subtracted. That means we're going to take -3 minus 4, -3 minus 4, and that will give us -7. Okay, -3 minus 4, -7. Then we're going to take 2 minus -3, 2 minus -3. Of course, we are going to get 5 right there. Okay, 2 minus -3 giving us 5. Then we're going to take 4 minus 2, 4 minus -2, sorry, 4 minus -2, and of course that's going to give us 6. All right, negative times negative, of course, yeah. And then we're going to take 0 minus -1, 0 minus -1, and that will give us -1. Negative times negative there. All right, 0 minus -1, and that will give us 1. So that is what we get when we subtract A minus B. Okay, that is what we get when we subtract A minus B. All right, so that is it. That is it for what we do when we are adding and subtracting. Matrices. Assuming we had another matrix here, C, and it was of order 3 by 3 or 2 by 3. Let's say we're having 2, -3 here, and -5, and 2, and we are having 7 and 4 here. All right, and so we were supposed to, let's say, maybe go ahead and add A plus C. Okay, A plus C. Now we would not be able to add A plus C. Why? What is the order of A? The order of A, you can clearly see, is 2 by 2. Okay, and what is the order of C? The order of C is 2 by 3. Okay, so these clearly are incompatible. These are not compatible matrices, and therefore we cannot add and also subtract them. We cannot add or subtract them. So the answer here would be incompatible matrices. Incompatible matrices. All right, that is to mean that we cannot add or subtract them. So that is it for today's class. See you in tomorrow's class, where we'll be looking at multiplication, scalar multiplication of matrices. Thank you and have a good day.